The table
Yeah.
didn't even notice that leg got disappeared in 1 minute
Yeah.
again. And so that's something I like to talk to folks about is you got to understand that I've had it happen to me twice in 1 minute. My income was all gone.
Yeah.
And so by taking control and finding, and maybe it's not rental properties for everybody. Maybe it's selling on Amazon or
Yeah.
ATM machines or car washes or Etsy. It's something to take control and not let that happen to you.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. And man, listen, I am very excited to be with you today. I am excited about my guest. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna be able to get this guy too emotional worrying about nothing. This guy is laid back. This guy has it figured out. He has learned how to get his time back, and he's gonna tell you all about it. But I'm excited because he has a wealth within his perspective of why he does things, how he does things, the time that he spends with his family, like what motivates him now. I think it's something a lot of us kind of really aspire to get to, and he has reached that level. And so I'm excited, and maybe he'll give us some tricks to the trade. But listen, I'm just excited just to bring to this platform to you guys, Mr. Zach Zimmer. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, great, man. Thanks for having me. And I should have took a 5 hour energy like you right before we got on. Man, your energy and excitement. How can you not have energy listening to you?
So listen, man, I appreciate that because I feel like I'm feeding off your energy, brother. So listen, I appreciate that, man.
Mhm.
And man, you just been dropping down. We've been talking, getting to know each other. And I'm just ready for you just to give the audience just a sliver or really how much ever you want,
Yeah.
a peek
Yeah.
into your lens, into your perspective, the way you do things, what fires you up, what makes you, what gets you passionate about what you do. So I want to step back. I want to give you the floor. Take us into
Yeah.
your world. Tell us what you do. Tell us why you do
Yep.
what you do. And also maybe what markets you're operating in as well.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah, again, Zach Zimmer. I'm in Northeast Ohio in the Akron Canton markets, which are an hour south of Cleveland. Most folks, if they've been reading about real estate for any amount of time, know that this is a desired market in terms of rental returns. Probably some of the actual economics behind that is just lots of workforce, call it like a blue collar median income workforce that for some reason just don't have the credit to buy homes. We also have a lot of universities that suck up housing, right? I don't invest in student rentals, but we have a lot of universities, so that sucks up housing. So, yeah, we have great rental returns that when I found out about them in 2012, yeah, single families, you could be all in whether you were buying them, turnkey from the bank, like my first two were, the foreclosures back in 2012 were getting paint, carpet, any work that needed done so that they could be turnkey ready because you did not have probably 1/50th of the investors that you do today back in 2012. You
Yeah.
had so few investors and Yeah, I mean, so banks couldn't get rid of these properties that needed people to come in and do a whole bunch of work, but they could, if they put carpet and paint, maybe they get an occupant owner to come in. And so yeah, back then you were getting properties all done in the 30s or finding something in the 20s that you put some work into. But here that was probably that market of middle 30s to 40,000. You were all done in a rental that was going to rent for 850.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So, you do the math, you take out a mortgage, your property taxes back then were maybe $100 a month. Your insurance was maybe 250 a year. So yeah, you should cash flow for something a month after property taxes and insurance. And yeah, so great return. Today, those numbers are far, far, far different. Mostly, yes, everything's improved in real estate, but just so many more eyes in this area. And so my area now has multiples more out of state buyers than we even had in state buyers back then. But yeah, I was very fortunate to uncover real estate in 2012, long before Bigger Pockets, before there was forums, before real estate investing was really a common thing.
Yeah.
Back then it was, oh yeah, maybe your uncle had a duplex or two, or but there weren't like tons of people living on passive income and running real estate businesses or wholesale businesses, flipping businesses, rental businesses. And so that's a nice benefit that people have today is the strategies and the plans are all out there. Even AI aside, you can you can watch YouTube videos, you can get free courses everywhere to understand how to build a rental portfolio, to how to build a wholesale company, a flipping company. So that's a big perk that we didn't have back then. We had to figure it out ourselves what this looks like. And that's what it started with. I ended up buying 2 single families with Huntington fixed 30-year mortgages with my engineering manager bonus. So I got like a $20,000 bonus, and that was enough to buy 2 houses with 30-year fixed loans and maybe 10% down. And that was it. I was like, okay, spent all my money. And that was the biggest first step. I've been asked on, either when I've been coaching or on podcasts, like, oh, tell us about, the biggest decision, or tell us about that. And it was like, that was it. Getting my wife and changing my mindset where we were dinks, double income, no kids, W-2s. And when we got a little extra money, we did what dinks do. Oh, let's get new furniture. Oh, let's put on a patio. Let's get a new TV. Let's take a vacation, right? More money comes in, more money goes out.
Mm,
Oh, but we're funding our 401k and our IRA. So we're good, right? We're going to have these jobs for 30 years. We're going to work
mm,
the healthiest 30 years of our life, our most vibrant, healthy 30 years. We're going to spend it working for someone else. And we're going to have this 401k and this IRA. And, hopefully we're going to be in good health and we will have fun those last 20 years. And that was what we thought. That was what
mm,
my parents did. And I didn't know any different. And so I bought those 2 and I thought it was done. And I was like, hey, we're having a kid. And look at this. In 18 years, I'll sell those 2 houses and that's going to pay for half of college. So guess what? We don't have to save for college now. And we're getting $500-600 cash flow a month for weekends. Oh, we're gonna ball out. Like we're gonna blow this on the weekend, go up to Cleveland overnighters. We're gonna, our weekends are covered, and now college, at least half of college is covered. And that's what I thought 2 rental properties would be. So you go on another year, and I'm kind of hearing about these self-directed IRAs, right? And I'm like, well, I just left that company and I have 300,000 in my 401k. Huh? Yeah, let's self-direct IRA and buy some houses. Which let's get to the end. not a good place to hold rentals, everybody. So don't lend in a self-directed IRA, buy promissory notes, but do not buy real estate because you lose the main benefits.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Of holding real estate when you hold it in a self-directed IRA. So I have since fixed all that. But yeah, so I went and bought 4 more houses in that self-directed IRA. And I'm like, okay, I'm collecting rent. It's going in there. It's growing much more than my 401k. And I was like, okay, I'm done again. Have no money. And then I heard about a community bank that people were using that was funding the rehab. And I was like, and somebody's like, yeah, just inflate the numbers, like inflate the rehab numbers. And as long as the home appraises, they're going to. And so I got this house under contract and yep. Okay. I had my contractor put together a rehab number on it. And I was like, yeah, and we're just going to add 8,000 to that. And then like a week before closing, all the copper gets stolen out of this house. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what do you think that's going to be? He's like, well, to run it in PEX, it's going to be $400. I'm like, oh no, what would it be if we were going to do copper? Oh, copper, you're going to be $2,500. I'm like, yep, put $2,500 on there. And so, we put all this stuff in there and the home appraised, for, I don't know, $80,000 or $90,000. And I'm like, and so at closing, I didn't bring any money to the table. They gave me a check for like $8,000. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I think the total rehab was going to cost me like 10. So, I got a check at closing. I had to cover 10. And so, yeah, from there, like I just started doing these rehab loans. And then eventually, at that point, I still just think this is a nice little side hustle. And I start getting a little more cash. Wife and I was good in financial management. We lived below our means, not greatly below our means, but a little bit. And so we didn't need to touch any of the real estate income. We didn't touch it, kept snowballing. And then so eventually, I flipped some and I've got enough cash to where I'm buying these rentals in cash, rehabbing in cash, and then take them to the lender, getting a new appraised value, getting all my money back, plus some tax-free profit, right? So I buy it for 40. I put 10 into it. It appraises at 85. So I'm putting 5,000 in my pocket. I get all my money back. So my return on investment is infinity, right? No money in the deal, make 400 a month after PTI. And I just kept doing it. And I still, let's call it 2014, right? So now I've read 10X by Grant Cardone. And I mean, that just really helped me. Even though I didn't really know where this was going, I knew it was profitable. And okay, I've got all these engineers around the country. I'm flying around the country. I got I got a toddler and an infant, or 2 toddlers in 2015. We've moved houses. I've got an eviction. I just bought this house. I'm trying to deal with this turnover. And X really told me and taught me, who cares? Buy that house that you see that's a good deal. Don't just be like, I'll look at it next week. No, go look at it today and buy that house today. And those 2 books, 10X and Boba, I mean, Cardone is very controversial, right? But he doesn't care. Whether you like him or hate him, you're thinking about him, right?
Yeah.
And that's what an influencer wants. But if you want motivation, if you want salesmanship, I don't know that there's much better. I mean, his 2 books, 10X and Boba, for motivation, just hit me at the right time when the market was so great. I had the right contractors, the right agents, and I was just like, oh, but I've got this problem, I got this problem. And it was like, who cares? Buy another house. And had I not, I mean, there's a lot of things in life that go that way. Like, oh, now's not the right time, maybe next month. Well, it'll never happen, right? You're like, oh, I'll go look at that house next week. Well, next week, this happens. The kid's sick. There's another problem at work. I'll buy a house next month. Oh, next month, then this house is having an eviction or a turnover. And oh, this one needs the water line. So, but if you just don't care and I just took down every deal. So for 2015 and 2016, I bought like 27 or 30 houses. So more than one a month for 2 years. And then
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I don't know when I kind of thought like I could quit my job. I
Yeah.
think I was just like, my goodness, like, yes, like this is amazing. It's now double what I make. And it was just something I just kept doing. Like we talked about OCD, right?
Yeah.
Obsessive
Yeah.
compulsive disorder. And I have OCD tendencies around things that I believe are beneficial. And fortunately, it is applied to business. It is applied to exercise and nutrition, versus like we talked about, like locking windows or doors, like
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
do. But yeah, it's applied to things that I think benefit me. And like the Boba book, right? Be obsessed or be average. I just kind of kept going. And we missed one thing. In 2013, after I bought those two properties, I had left that company. That's where I had the 401k, took a job relocation. We built a new house just a little bit further north. I was working in Cleveland. And after 6-7 months of being there, it was a private equity company. They eliminated my position. And it's crazy how knee jerk private equity is. I was leading a boot camp for them in Indiana when they told me I was laid off, and didn't know the boot camp was going on, forgot that they had all these supervisors travel to that hotel where I'm leading a boot camp. And on Monday is when they laid off all these people, and they were like, "Oh shit, we've number one, like, oh, we can't end your credit card today. Like, you've got to get home. And what are we going to do with all these supervisors and this camp you're leading that all these people drove to?" But the point of that was, right, I'm in a hotel room, basically in tears. We just built
Yeah.
a new house. I am 70% of our income. This has never happened to me before. I'm talking to my wife, who's in her parents' basement because we just finished building a house that we're about to move into, and I just lost my job. And
Yeah.
as Tim Shiner in 50 Things They Didn't Teach You in School tells you, I only had one leg under my table,
Hmm.
right? And what happened to that one leg? In 1 minute, that leg was gone. And it was just such stress and
Yeah.
emotion. I mean,
Hmm.
at that point, we had a 7-8 month old baby. We built a new house that was, definitely more than we can afford with her income. And I don't know. I hadn't been through that. So I didn't know how quickly I would land. And fortunately, I landed well. Within 2-3 weeks. But that point that was another data point to say, I'm just going to keep buying rentals because I'm never going to let my employer sweep out my leg again. And so when that happened again, only 6 years later, right? So 6 years later, that happens again in 19. And it was comical because I didn't even notice my pay hitting my account when I would get my direct deposit from my job. And I remember talking to my buddy one time, and I'm like, what is this? What is this deposit here? Oh, that's my pay. And I was a director of engineering, so I made good money. When
Hmm.
you have I had 50 some houses that rented it, call it $1,000, $1,100 a month. So you got 50
Right.
houses there. I had hard money lending and notes with interest income coming in. I had flips coming in. Any day in that Chase account, right? There's lots of stuff. So, a little $3,000 or $4,000 deposit, So it was funny when that happened, and I came home that day to this pretty ridiculous house that we built,
Hmm.
the last house that we're building. And we had multiple new cars and this new house. And I came home at like noon that day, and my wife's like, "What's going on? Why are you home so early?" And I'm like, "That's it. My job's
Yeah.
eliminated." She's like, and my wife is phenomenal that, you could say it's the best scenario, or you could say it's the second best scenario. She is not involved at all, but doesn't prevent anything, right?
Yeah.
Gives me all the time needed to run these businesses, has never, questioned why she has to sign something if she has to sign something. And
Yeah.
yeah, so, but she didn't really fully understand. Like she was there the first time when it happened and she knew things were better, but are we going to be okay? And I was like, yeah, I got to get us health insurance and I got to get a laptop and I got to get a cell phone because all these things were company, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah, it was totally different because now instead of that one leg from 2013 now was a tiny leg that the table didn't even move. The table
Yeah,
didn't even notice that leg got disappeared in 1 minute
yeah,
again. And so that's something I like to talk to folks about is you got to understand that I've had it happen to me twice in 1 minute. My income was all gone.
yeah,
And so by taking control and finding, and maybe it's not rental properties for everybody. Maybe it's selling on Amazon or
yeah.
ATM machines or car washes or Etsy. It's something to take control and not let that happen to you.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
eventually in 2019 also is when I kind of stopped buying single families. I felt I had enough. I had 50 some and, was like, oh, let me look at some other things. And I was on Biz Buy Sell. And that's when I found a trampoline park, one of these kids' trampoline parks, 26,000 feet with all this
Yeah.
stuff. And I thought that would be fun for young kids and a good cash flowing business. And it had so many issues with that place. And then COVID. And that's where I came up with this original thought of never buy a job.
Mm.
If you're putting your money
Yeah,
to work,
man.
if you're putting your money into something, you want it to be passive or
Yeah,
semi passive or some amount. Like if you want a job, go get a job.
yeah.
So buying that trampoline park essentially bought me a job on Saturday with 500 people in the park and the toilets are backed up and you got feces on the floor and then you got drunks at 11:30 on a weekend, and it just so many issues we dealt with there until we finally got out of it. And the good story about how we got out of it is because we controlled the real estate.
Yeah,
People have said this, you make money controlling the real estate, not necessarily owning it or having equity in it. And this was a prime commercial space right off the highway by the airport with 30-foot tall ceilings. And we had a 10-year lease on it. And, it was very desirable for high bay storage, high bay manufacturing. And so when our landlord, knew that we were struggling, he came to us and was like, "Oh, I could let you out of the lease." I'm like, "Okay, well, we still owe 250,000 on our SBA loan."
right,
"Oh, okay. Well, so would you guys be interested in a buyout?" And we're like, "Yeah." And so eventually, he started with like 100,000, him and the company that wanted our space. But eventually, yeah, they came up to $250,000 for us just to walk away from the park and leave it there. And then a company came in and, trashed it all and basically, yeah, put in it's now like some construction company. But
um,
yeah, I mean, just controlling the space. And that's how I treat my real estate business. Home equity, same thing. Home equity is not a good investment. If you are a Dave Ramsey disciple, yes, equity is good. But if you are an entrepreneur, a real estate investor, if you call yourself or claim you are one of those, you better be able to go make more than 6% on your money.
yeah, yeah,
And so when you have home equity, when you leave money in real estate, you're admitting that you don't know how to go make more than 6% on your money. And so yeah, that's why I follow the Burr process. And that's, basically my whole MO is buy them in cash, rehab them in cash, take them to a lender. I take out, a low 60, 65% LTV, but that gets me all of my cash back because my deals are normally pretty good to where I'm in at a low basis. And yeah, so I take my money out. I have no money left in that house and I lend it to somebody else. So maybe I'm making an infinite return on investment in the house because there's no money there. And now I'm lending it to someone at 15%. Or I go put it in another house and I burr another house.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's kind of crazy
mm,
how it all came together of
yeah,
the real estate, then mixed with lending. Lending is a very passive activity. So those are my two bread and butter. And then the loser, right? The biggest loser, the biggest pain point has been the somewhat or very sexy looking private equity syndications.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
that
yeah,
has been a 7-figure mess across
yeah,
24 syndications. And, we can get as deep into that or just stay on the cursory surface.
No,
But yeah, those
we
have
can
not
stay.
gone
Yeah,
well.
you can say that because I know the syndicators. You said they're welcome on your podcast anytime. I remember you saying that. No, I'm joking. No, I ain't trying
No,
to make you spit out the water.
yeah, almost. Nope.
But no, man, I want to ask you this because time is wrapping up. But I have to ask because you have brought your time that things are successful. You are loving where you are right now. So what's the next real goal for you, Mrs. Zach?
So, yeah, I mean, our net passive income coming in is about 3 times what we spend. I like that healthy number, because, yeah, I mean, you have a year like this year when my wife comes to me and our kids don't want to play soccer anymore. They want to do competitive cheer. Oh, well, competitive cheer is about $8,000 per kid per year. So now I have to go insert a line item on our monthly spend, and it doesn't start at the bottom here. It starts 2/3 of the way up that, oh, we're going to spend what, $1,000 a month on competitive cheers. I hear people say like, oh, hey, I'm making 5,000 a month wholesaling. I'm going to quit my job. Horrible decision. Don't
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, yeah,
Keep your job as long as you can. Go ball this money. But so, I guess my point there is I don't really have financial business objectives. My objectives are more around lifestyle. My top two podcasts are The Dad's Edge and Front Row Dads that are,
yeah,
kind of, they talk about business, but they're about living your life.
yeah,
And since I've achieved the passive income now, so I do want to continue buying at least three, more like five plus, 5 to 7 houses a year. I would say I'm going at that kind of semi-passively. I
yeah,
don't try to source deals. I'm not sending out mailers or making phone calls or texts. I'm
yeah,
just keeping my ears and eyes out. And when a deal is out there, I jump on it and close it.
yeah.
Because, yeah, our expenses are going to go up every year. And I want to make sure we're still at like 3 times what we spend in income coming in to keep that snowballing. And yeah, I mean, I've dipped into different things and I've constantly gotten burned.
Yeah.
Amazon e-com stores, ATM machines, different syndicators. So houses don't go to zero even when they burn up. I had a house burn
Yeah.
up and I got my
Mm.
big check from insurance. So, what I would tell folks is, yeah, there's so many Facebook reels and Instagram shorts, if they're called, like trying to show you the next hottest thing from
Yeah.
Ryan Panetta or any of these social sales guys. And yeah, you got to take everything with a grain of salt and really just try to find the concrete, fundamental cash flowing ideas and stick with them. And hopefully it's in your local market because that makes it even harder when you're doing something out of your market. No syndications.
No
That's the thing for
syndicate.
me is just
No
no,
syndicate. I'm
no,
going to
I
make
will
sure I
keep.
get on the phone with all my syndicators and just send it your way. We're going to flood.
No, no. But for anybody, if you have people there are two really good websites that are private forums for investors in
Yeah, yeah,
syndications.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
that's Private Investor Club and 506B Group. Unfortunately, I didn't find those until I was already
yeah.
pregnant in
You,
syndications,
yeah, you
right?
already had your trauma. Yeah,
Yep, yep.
yeah,
So, but if
yeah,
I was looking for passive income in syndications, I would really start spending my time in either of those two groups because they drill them. They bring them on there. They drill them. These are all well seasoned syndication investors. They know what to look for, and they yeah. So I would follow the lessons that are in those two forums if I was going to get back into syndications.
absolutely. Now, man, I love this, man. This has been so great, man. You have given us a wealth of information and knowledge. Thank you for taking us down your road, telling your story. I'm sure there is so much that people can just take away from this. But I want to ask you this before we wrap. Listen, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, maybe collaborate with you or learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to reach out to you, sir?
So you can find me on Facebook. It's Zach Zimmer, Zach, Zimmer. And then I also have a website, zachzimmer.com. And yeah, I do some small selective coaching. It's not something I market or advertise or try to
No,
sell. But yeah, there's some things on there on the website and also a link to one of my best friends' turnkeys in Northeast Ohio. So if people are looking for rental properties in Northeast Ohio, we have my best friend who's ex Amish. So you have all Amish crews, working on your house, which I mean their quality is about as good as it gets. So yeah, so I do help move some turnkeys here because I found that I can't compete with this out of state investor demand. So
Yeah.
I might as well see how it can supplement. And these are properties in the same areas where I'm still buying. So
Yeah.
well, it's right there with me. But yeah, check out the website, zachzimmer.com.
I love it. There he is, y'all. Mr. Zach Zimmer. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for your time, your story, for your perspective. Thank you for the nuggets that you dropped on this episode today. I really appreciate you being here today.
Hey, thanks for having me. It was a good chat.
Absolutely. And so there he is, y'all. Y'all got the value. Y'all heard the conversation. You do not want to miss out on future conversations. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe. One click of the button, people. Subscribe. And therefore, you will get the alert when we have these amazing conversations. So again, thank you, Mr. Zach. And to everyone else, we will see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.